各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear friends.
상상이 안녕하세요.
真好玩，真好玩。
哇
우리입니다.
厉害啊！ 韩
Wow!
国女士，哈，
Two Korean ladies. Please have a seat.
好好好。
All
很漂
right.
亮哈。
So pretty.
那今天呢，我们给大家聊一聊
So
这个
today
关于职业
we
病的
are
问题
going
哈
to talk
我们
about
正好
occupational
有
diseases.
非常好的八卦修行的
We
见证。
happen to have very good testimonials that defeat the occupational diseases.
大家
You
都
know,
找到一个工作，发挥
in
自己的
our
一技之长。 用
in
来
our
贡献社
jobs,
会
everybody find a
也用
job
来
to,
养家
you
糊
know,
口。
we
这个
can
是
contribute to the
人之常
society
情。
and also support our
但是呢，
family. This is very
因为这个
normal
工
for
作的
everyone.
职业
However,
习惯
because
的
of
动作
different
以及
careers
这个一些职业还有
and
一种叫
the
特殊的
work-related,
环境
you know,
啊
habitual
所以而
postures
形
and the
成的这个
environment,
职业病啊
some
多种多样。
occupational diseases
几乎是每一
happens,
种
and
职
in
业都可
many
能会留下
varieties in
不同的职
almost
业病。
every career,
啊
there's a
比
kind
如说
of
现在
there
坐办
are
公室的比
several
较多
kinds
了，
of occupational
你像这个
diseases.
脊椎的
Now
疾病
there
是
are
吧？不光
many
是一个颈
people
的问题
working in the office,
腰
and so
椎啊
always some problem with
这
the
个
spine,
颈
maybe
椎，
cervical
甚至是
or
这个
lumbar
你的
or
坐骨神经，
or
哎
even
还有什
sciatic
么胃病，
nerves, or
头
maybe
痛，
stomach pain or
头
headache
昏，
or
还有
you
这
know
个
dizziness
肩膀吹空
or
调。
or
对，
maybe they
还
had
有什么
air
腱鞘炎，你
conditioning,
看，尤其用鼠
you
标
know,
的
blowing on their
鼠标
shoulder.
啊，台湾
And
滑鼠
also
啊，都
sometimes
用
they
过
have
什么
those
一样
what
得
they
腱
call
鞘
the
炎，
mouse
手
hand,
腕就
and
会
so
痛
they have these
啊。你看台
parallel
湾还之前说半指指是吧？
tendinitis,
它
and
就是在
also
指
they
头部
used
位
to
的
have
腱鞘
also
炎，
the
哎，
kind of
还有
peritendinitis on their fingers.
对
And
各
they
种各样
also
的毛
have
病
a lot of strains.
对，其实是
And
影
if
响到
they
它整个这个
look at the
系统
screen
的
too much,
啊。
maybe they have
对，
dry
因为
eyes
有
because it
的某种环境
affects
使
the
得
whole
人容易产
system.
生这个
Some
分泌失调，
environments
哎，
cause
也
people to
直
have
接
the
表面上就可能眼
imbalance
睛
in
啊
their
不舒服，
endocrine
还有失
system,
眠
and
啊
then they
眼
might
睛脱
have
发，甚
insomnia
至还
or
有的会
lose
影响
hair,
到
or some
怀孕
even
生宝宝。
will
对各
have
种各样的这
will
个
affect
职业
their
以及环境而形
pregnancy,
成的疾
or
病，哎呀，
they
多的
yeah,
数
so
不
all
胜数啊。
kinds of
哎，其实
diseases.
在每个行业，
And
尤
some
其是比
causes the
较消耗
infertility, and so they
这个
can't
身
have a
体啊，
child.
还有呢，这个
And in
工
many
作环境
different
有一些
um,
类似于
occupations,
毒素的熏染的行业，
sometimes
这
maybe
更麻
some
烦。
occupations they
哎，
have some
一会儿呢，我们会给
pollutions
大
that would
家
be
哎
even
做一个
worse.
详细的沟
So
通。
later we
今
will
天
have
看似一个八
more
卦修行
detailed
见证，实际上
discussion
这个内容
about these
特别的精彩。
today.
我
It
看着又
looks
精
like
彩又高兴
a
又感
sharing
动。
of some Energy
哎，
Bagua
是这样的
stories
哈。
and testimonials,
那
but it
么今
actually
天的这
would
个
be
相
a
关的八卦见证呢，
wonderful
是来自于
session
我们亚洲
today.
的韩
And
国
today's
大
sharing
英国。
is from
哎，韩
Korea.
国呢，我给大家要介绍一下，
So
这是一个
allow
特
me
别的
to give
美
you a
丽的
brief
地方。
introduction
哎，
of
是一
Korea.
个和中国一
It
样，
is a very
是个历史
beautiful
文化
country,
非常
and this
悠久
is
的
a
地方。
country
哎，我
with
去过若干
very
次了
rich
哈，
cultural
我
and
们呢也有几个
historical,
课堂。 哎，
you know,
那个地方有着这个丰富的
beautiful,
旅游资源啊，深厚的这个文
beautiful
化的
tourist
功底。
sites and
哎，你看这
cultural
个，你看这是
knowledge
首
and
尔的
remains, and
类似传统的
this
这
is
个
in
民居
Seoul.
啊，
These
在
are
这
the
里啊，
traditional
很多 年轻的国
residence
外的游客
houses,
就在那争
and
相去在那
a
参
lot of
观照
the
相留影，因
you
为太
know
难得了，
foreign
实际上独此一
visitors
处
went
啊，
there to
特别
take
漂亮。
pictures because this is the
哎，你看
only
画
place
面上都是一
in the
些外
world,
国
and
人过
it's
去去
really
旅游，
pretty.
我也
So
去把
yeah,
那玩
I
过。
also went there and took pictures and
我这个打扮呢是
enjoyed
韩
tea.
国教书
And
先
so
生的打扮，
you know,
哎，
look
是
at
这样
my
的。
costume.
哎，
This is the
你
costume
看，
for
所以
teachers
韩
in
国呢，
Korea,
真是它
traditional
的这个文
teachers.
化
Yeah.
底蕴呢，
So
真是
they
深厚啊。
in Korea they
哎，
have a
还
lot
有
of
韩，我
culture,
在
very
发现
profound
韩国
culture,
的
and
很多佛教传统寺
in
庙啊，
Korea,
它的后
a
院
lot
里
of
头啊，
those
露
Buddhist
着很多
temples
大缸，
in their backyard, they
哦，
have some
就
big
像大
jars.
菜缸，
Looks like those
泡菜
kimchi jars.
还不是，
No, no.
是
Uh,
这是
that
北
for
方人哈，中国北
turnips?
方人也要做这些
Well,
东西，
in
就是
North
腌
China,
制
they
酱，
also have that. So they will
是
actually make
韩国
those
大酱，
黄豆酱，
对，
missiles. Yeah, so Korean missiles. I don't know whether they use black beans or soybeans to make it. And so if you want to order Korean food, there's always a miso soup, and that's the miso. And a lot of those miso are made in the temple, and they're very famous and very yummy. And Korea also has beautiful costumes. Many young people, young girls, they want to take a picture of the costume, and that becomes a really beautiful scene in Seoul. Many young, beautiful girls, and everybody is so beautiful. They all look like, princesses, beautiful princesses and empresses, and this is Joyce입니다. This, well, I heard that this is the costume and, the hairstyle for queens. It's actually not very easy. Actually, if you wear those here, like the crowns, it's very easy to have the neck pain. Well, however, even though they have a lot of wind, then you won't be blown by the wind. Yeah, ever since you wear that costume, in Korea they have female presidents. See? And Joy said, really? Oh, wow, that's true. So in Korea, in the spring, the whole street of cherry blossom, or the whole mountain of cherry blossom. Look at the picture. You think this is a painting, but this is real. In Busan, they also have a lot of cherry blossom. You feel like this is in heaven. And in Korea, everywhere is very clean. So you see, it's very clean on the ground. Everybody take care of the cleanliness of the city. And I really love the persimmons, Korean persimmon. I really love the dried persimmon. In China, they actually make it like a persimmon cake, but in Korea, they make them like a little. So it's not like a cake, but it's very, very yummy. And Korean. So in Korea, they look like those lanterns, and the celadon, Korean celadons look like those porcelains or ceramics from the Ru kiln, or they really look like the porcelains or these chinas from the Song Dynasty. I really love the celadon in Korea. I collected some of them too. Well, you can also talk about something interesting in Korea. Oh, of course, they're the gourmet Korean food. Oh, sticky rice cake. Yeah, even in North America, those are very famous. When we go to a formal Korean restaurant, I noticed that their waitresses, they are really... they have wonderful services, but they have really big temper. What does that mean? They would set up a whole set of dishes, but you cannot misorder them, and so that will match their Korean tradition, the requirement. So they will always put the meat in front of the the man, and only put soup in front of the woman. I think that's very reasonable, just for you to lose some weight, right? Yeah. So Korean food is very yummy. Have you ever had Korean ginseng before? Yeah. And and also kimchi. Yes. Kimchis are really interesting. I know how to make it now. When they make kimchi in the fall, those ladies will get together and make kimchi together. I heard that there's also kimchi festival. There will be thousands of people making kimchi together. I didn't actually join any of those festivals. I was only, teaching over there. Would that be not clean because it's so yummy? So people, it will trigger a lot of saliva down. No. When they're making them, they also have facial masks, and actually kimchi helps digestion. Well, don't eat too much though. Only 30 days a month. And in Korea, chocolate in a Korean airport, even their chocolate are spicy. They have spicy chocolate. Do they have kimchi chocolate? Oh, they don't? Okay, then we can make them. And in Korea, they have lots of beautiful women. In addition to their genes, I think that they also have very good makeups. And also, the makeup industry is very, very developed, well developed. I heard that a lot of the Korean makeups are very expensive because they use really good, ingredients. And so when I went to Korea, when I buy makeups, I will buy something, made in some other countries. I'm not going to mention that brand. Anyways, Korean makeups are really good. I found that a lot of those tourists, especially ladies, when they arrive at Korean airport, they're trying to buy facial masks. It's like oh my gosh, they're crazy. They have a whole suitcase of facial masks, like whole sack of facial masks. Oh, they're crazy. Yeah, I actually bought a lot of facial masks there. In Korea, I bought a small suitcase. Okay. So I'm just going to buy them as gifts. I think I can share with. If I gift other people with masks, I can buy a whole basket of facial masks. You could only give a piece of the facial mask to others. So they have like 10 facial masks would be. A stack of them. So facial masks are not vegetables. You cannot eat. But in my home, facial mask is edible. Korean food is good. Korean makeups are good. And they also have the plastic surgery is also very famous in Korea. They could even, if you're, what they can do is that they have to work with the consular general or the embassies, because when they come out of the surgery, they completely will change their face. Before, they may have a wider face and even wider than my chair. And after the surgery, their face would be like have a very pointy, very pointy point. And so, if you want your face shape to be changed, then you need to go to Korea. Oh my gosh, I said so many good things about Korea. The president of Korea maybe need to give me some advertisement fee for my advertisement. But if you go to Korea, their food are always with authentic food. Because whatever they have mixed in the rice, they're going to they're putting all the ingredients on top, so you can see the vegetables and eggs and everything. You can see very clearly what you're going to eat. And also, their movies and TV shows are very well developed. Last night, I watched a Korean TV show. I cried, and that put me to tears. A long time ago, I watched a movie called something like Walk with the God, or so it talks about after death. So a lot of people, the criminals, they want to be a good person because they don't want to be judged and punished after death. And,
我们到济州岛专门看到了拍摄的基地。
there's a very famous movie, 大长今. And we even took pictures with the actress, and so they just had a picture of her, and we took picture with her. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know if. Yeah. So the tour guide said that she hasn't done any plastic surgery, and then I said, "Oh," I asked the tour guide, "Did you do any plastic surgery?" He said, "I'm a man. Of course, I won't, but I only did a little bit on the shape of my face." So their plastic surgery is very well developed, and their TV shows are very well developed, and Koreans are very good at creating writing stories. And yeah. You always and there's a Professor Du. He's an alien, and so see, you always remember men. I always remember girls. And so, you should tell me earlier. Korean government never admitted that there's aliens coming to Korea, but they used a different way to show people. So that alien came to Korea, that's Professor Du, and he came from a star. And they didn't mention which star was that because they didn't want people all go to that star, and so the star would be too busy. Anything else that's funny, that's fun for that you can share with us? Oh, they also have a very famous
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style? Yeah, so they have those comedians, and yeah. Look at that. And there was once when we were in Singapore, there was a fellow practitioner said, after a week, he saw me, and a week earlier, he went to, this famous chameleon went to Singapore and had a performance, and so this lady went there with her mom. So her mom, she had heart disease, but however, the whole night they ride on a horse together with this comedian. And then after that performance, yeah, so the performer, they all made money. However, the stadium, they had to use like $5 million to repair the seats because everybody was, I don't think that he's that handsome, but how come everybody follow him to ride on horses? And even more crazy. And they also had the, oh my gosh, what does that mean? S. Running noses? I don't. So there are just 7 boys who have running nose. Oh my gosh, they're just so popular all over the world. In American young boys, they, people like those North American North American stars, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, or however, there are so many young people. They really like these running noses. I don't know what their English name is. They're not having running nose anymore, but they are using Korean makeups. They are all very handsome, but they, there's some stores that they especially sell their products, and everything there are selling very, very fast. They have dolls, they have those heightening I don't know what's that called.
太厉害了，真是
真厉害。
佩服佩服。
Maybe.
所以以后我让他
Oh,
给我们
okay.
写首
So
歌。
it's like the insole, the shoe pad or the insole. Those insole that makes people look high, look taller, and so.
他说妈妈没事儿，你们去韩国我也去，我去看 BTS 的演唱会啦。
And so there's a fellow practitioner said, "Oh, how they talk to their children, how are you?" And then there's a girl said, "I want to study in Korea because I want to learn running nose as they're just so charming." Oh, all these
所以我也
these
跳不了
7
啊，一看就
young
抽
men
筋
they
看着都抽筋。
they
但
dance
是
so
我觉得
well,
还真是有点
but
韵味。
they really
有点
are
艺术感。
very artistic dancers. I don't know what
但是
that
确实
means,
是
but
唱得
they
跳得都很
really
好。
sing well and
听说
dance
还到
well.
了
I
那个
heard that they
联合国
also
总部去。
你看，
they even sang to at
对，
United
据说美国一些大腕儿
Nations,
好像给他合
and
作。
a lot of American
具体
celebrities
合同问题咱就
also
不透露了啊。
好的好
对
的。
want to partner with
啊
them to do some big businesses. I'm not going to release more details. So Korea is a very charming place. I suggest every one of you to go to Korea after the pandemic and maybe
对，那我们韩国的
have some kimchi
这
and
个
enjoy
我
some
们韩国的
cherry
这个
blossom. So
八卦发展也特
the
别好。
Korean energy
那这个
bagua in
有一
Korea,
个
energy
在
bagua
首
also
尔的
develops
一个
very
八卦
well
店
in
啊
Seoul.
哎
There's an
他
energy
们就
bagua
有这个
practice
非
point.
常非常
They
棒的这个八卦的见证分享。
wonderful sharings with us. So Seoul is their capital city. So that's a big city, right? Capital city.
韩国还有
And
一大特
in
点，
Korea, they also have another.
特别多。
洞
Oh,
对
they have a
全
lot
部
of
人都是
dong.
我一开始去的
Yeah.
时候，我说洞，咱们进潭洞看看去。
like
结果发现
cave.
不是洞，
It's
可能就是
actually
一条
not
街或者一个小区
not a
对
cave.
上当了。
It's just pronounced
好像
as
是古代的
dong.
一种
So
第一个
it's just
小
a
区的一
street.
种命
Maybe
名的一种，是吧？
that's how Korean,
有的叫
ancient
什么
Korean
区，
would
什
name
么
that.
巷。
Oh, maybe
它
this
这
is
个
a
洞呢，也不是指
an
一条街
avenue
道，
or
反
maybe
正
a
这么一串。
street, and
这
so
一小片儿
it's just
对
that
叫什么洞？
area, maybe that
尤其
district
是特
or
别吸引觉真的呢，
and
叫银丝洞。
yeah.
他为什么
What
喜欢那个
attracts
呢？
Joyce most
它这个
is
西游记中有个盘丝洞，
Instone, because
对不
in
对？它喜
Journey
欢
to
银
the
丝洞，
West
所以
there's
我
the
去看看这个
Pansi
经长什
Cave,
么样
and
的。
so
所以
Pansi
发
Dong.
现之后，这
So
个
she
夜市
went
特
there,
别漂亮。
and then she went there and said, "Oh, this is
就
a
从那
night
之后
market, and
长
it's
胖了，
really
没瘦
pretty."
下来。
And ever since
我知道
then,
了
she
银丝
got the
洞之后，
weight and never lose that
哎，
weight.
他是说，
It's
嗨，
just
不用
because
说，
she
我
went to
不会吃胖
Instone.
的。但
And
是到那儿之后忍不住了。
she said, "I'm not
Oh,
going
that
to
was
eat
good
too
to
much.
see.
I won't get weight. I won't gain weight." But
吃了糖，
however, after
吃
she
大
went
豆
there,
土豆
she
啊，
would
各种
eat,
韩国
you
美
know,
食哈，真是那
candies
整一
and you
条
know
街，
those
各种玩的旅
all
游纪念
yummy
品
Korean
哈，
food
真是
and
好玩。
souvenirs
哎，
and really
还有我
fun.
们韩
And
国的银碗，
they also have
筷
those
子。
silver
嗯，
bowls
对，
and
那就像是
chopsticks.
银丝洞，其实怎么写
So
来着？
人家是不是银
how
啊
to write
人
it?
银就像
They,
人
it's
穿
just
的那种
pronounced as
仁爱的人是很有文
哦
化的，仁寺是
oh,
天后的意思，
it's
寺院的
actually
寺
寺院哦，
仁寺
this is
仁
just
寺洞。
pronounced as
哦，
incident. Incident, yes.
你用韩语读的时候呢
Incident，
银丝洞哦，
In,
银丝洞
incident.
还
Yeah,
是
in
银丝洞
Korean
啊。
it's incident.
盘丝洞就去了。
And
所以
so
我们今天的这一个八卦点，它也出了一个洞
today's
银丝洞吗？不
today's energy bagua practice point is also from a dong.
木
That's
洞
a mudong.
哎
Mudong.
木洞，木洞不得了哈。
So
现在
what
韩国很
is
多
a
名人住这个
mudong?
地方。
A lot of the
哎，
famous
就
people
刚才
live
咱讲的
there.
那个骑马大叔，对不
Celebrities
对？
live
哎，
over
有人
there.
叫他鸟叔嘛哈。骑
Mokdong.
马大叔他不是讲了江南 style 是什么意思啊？
江
江南的
风
江南风格。
Gangnam
这个首尔呢，
style. Yeah.
它分江
In
北江
Seoul
南。
they have
它那个江叫什么江？
Gangnam. So
汉
it's
江，
the
不是鸭子江
Han
哈，汉江。
Han River or Hanjiang is very long and very wide. This is one of the longest and biggest river. And so in Seoul, they have the south of this river and the north of this river. I heard that the south of that river, the real estate market is more expensive. So in the south of the river, it's more wealthy. And in the north of the river, they are more working class. And so But I know that in the north of this river, there are also a lot of, very wealthy people too, from a long time ago maybe. And so the south part of the river, and Mokdong is actually a newly developed area. And we heard that this area is very famous for very good schools.
Mokdong style.
Mokdong style. Mokdong style. Mokdong style. Yeah, that sounds very Korean. And so Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point is very wonderful. And let's look at their stories. Hello everyone, I'm a dentist. My name is Xu Guangyuan. Has been practicing dentistry for over 30 years. Dentists can have occupational illnesses. When we're seeing patients, our neck and back are often in a bent position, which unavoidably cause cervical spine and lumbar spine issues. Myself also included. I had issues on the cervical spine, lower back, shoulders, and wrists. The wrist problems came first. It even affected my dentistry practice. The periodontinitis causes swelling, pain, numbness, and weakness of the wrist. I need to hold medical equipment. But because of the periodontinitis, I didn't have the strength to hold. Once I held equipment in my hand, and just as I was about to start a procedure, I dropped the equipment and onto the floor. It was because my wrist couldn't apply the force it needed. Every time the weakness came, I could only put down the equipment and ask another doctor to take over. Dental surgery requires very precise movement and good perception. Every movement requires a suitable amount of strength. But because of my wrist issues, I often use the hammer with excessive force. Also, if I wanted to insert 0.5 milliliter of needle, but I insert 1 milliliter. The first time I made this mistake, I was terrified. I didn't know what to do and how I would be able to treat patients afterwards, so I could only reduce the frequency of patients with severe illnesses. During a period of time, I reduced 30% of the patients. Because of the fatigue, I couldn't help but worry about the next day's work. Even when I was at work, I constantly thought about what should I do. I realized that when I saw my patients, I was not happy anymore. It's a stress. As the director of the dental clinic, he has a lot of pressure from running the business. The doctors and nurses at the dental clinic are irregular. They come and go. The operational cost of the clinic is also quite high. It's not easy. I need to deal with everything. The work itself is stressful because we need to be cautious at all times and sometimes even overstressed. This situation caused chronic fatigue. As days go by, I felt that at work, I'd like a rubber ball inflated with air, but when I get off work, the ball completely deflates. I felt hopeless. I didn't have passion and motivation for work in life. Whenever the feeling came, all my joints and wrists became stiffer. It's even more difficult for me to treat patients under these circumstances. These symptoms began 16 years ago. To relieve this situation, I spent a lot of time trying various exercises. I had personal trainers at gyms. I tried mountain climbing and yoga. It seemed to have some effect, however, in the end, it just got worse. Starting to practice Energy Bagua in 2018, at the beginning, I intentionally chose a secluded corner near my apartment to practice Energy Bagua because I was afraid of people saying that my movement is weird. The first time that I walked Energy Bagua outdoors, I needed a lot of courage. I felt awkward and shy, persisted in practicing Energy Bagua 2 hours every day. After practicing for about a month, I was full of energy. when I have enough energy, I'm happy and full of vitality. It's amazing. It's as if lubricant has been applied to my whole body. My stiff joints soften. The places that are numb have returned to normal. The psychological stress of treating patients also disappeared. My shoulders are comfortable and all the other pain disappeared too. Of course, I didn't drop my equipment ever again. After getting my health back, I can operate precise surgical procedures again. All my perception and feel are back to normal. My body is relaxed. All the stress are gone. The quality and effect of my treatment are even better than before. I'm no longer depressed and I become optimistic. Also, my complexion is much better too. I have vitality for life and great happiness. Just like a car needed to fill up gas, my body and mind need to fill up energy. Energy Bagua replenish energy to my body and mind. So I have to practice Energy Bagua every day. Energy Bagua is so good that I cannot only benefit myself. I felt ashamed. August the 1st, 2019, I started the Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point. Mokdong is located at the city center of Seoul. There are many school district houses. Most residents here are successful people. So most of the practitioners at the Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point are white collars. Some new students' postures are not perfect yet, but they can quickly feel energized. Their transformation surprised me. The effect was amazing. Senior people also get healthier. Every time a student shares, I had pain here before, but today the pain is gone. I'm surprised and happy for them. Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point made Energy Bagua viral in the city of Seoul. It was only possible with Grandmaster Precious Dharma. It gave me confidence to practice in medicine again. Practice in my dental clinic again. I got rid of depression and found happiness. It's all because of Master's compassion. I firmly believe in the excellent effects of Energy Bagua. So no matter where it is, if a new Energy Bagua point is needed, I will do my best to start it. I'm sincerely grateful to Grandmaster. After practicing Energy Bagua, the periodontitis disappeared, regained confidence for medical practice, and he's full of energy. So Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point actually was started by Mr. Xu, who is a professional dentist. As a dentist for those 30 years as a dentist, he had a lot of occupational diseases like for the cervical spine and lumbar spine, and also herniated disc, and also the wrist that he had the peritendinitis. And when his wrist was so painful, when he was holding the dental tools, he would drop them on the floor. So this is quite dangerous, right? He cannot have any control over the tools. And in the video just now, he described that, before he would just gently, insert the needle for 0.5 milliliter, but he could not control his hand, so he would insert 1 milliliter. So it's on the teeth nerves. That would be a huge difference, and that could even cause accidents, right? And so he was very, very nervous. After 1 or 2 times, he lost confidence in being a dentist, and so he felt very, very depressed, and he could only become a Chinese doctor, right? Yeah, because Chinese doctors, they only do prescribe. Later, we will also have a sharing from a Chinese doctor. And so when he had these problems, he was so worried about it, and even affected the whole clinic. operation. And it was good that in 2018 he started to walk Energy Bagua. Look how happy he is because he is a doctor, so he knows and he is more sensitive on the change in the body. So it gave him a lot of confidence. Gradually, the shoulder pain disappeared, and then the joints are becoming, the joint pain disappeared. Now he's full of energy and he can very steadily hold the dental tools and do very precise dental surgeries. And he was very confident, and he said that ever since then, he never had any accidents in the surgery. And as a dentist, he knows the sufferings of all the people. Even though in that area there are many successful people, but they all have different kinds of occupational diseases. Just now we mentioned quite a few occupational diseases. So he set up a Energy Bagua practice point, and eventually he attracted a lot of people who are also working very hard in different fields. So when he started the Energy Bagua practice point, if a doctor can get healed, that actually encouraged a lot of people to come too, because this is very convincing. And so Dr. Xu, he saw a lot of the students at the Energy Bagua practice point. They also got well, younger people, older people. So all these benefits gave him even more confidence. Yeah. So he had a lot of students. So when he saw somebody who is not very healthy, then he said, "Come and walk with me." And then after they walk for 100 days, then the result would be very obvious. And so he would have more confidence, and we could see that Dr. Xu, from inside out, he's radiating the light of confidence, and he was full of energy, and that joy that radiates from his heart. And after walking a period of time, this Energy Bagua, even he would have to work overtime. He would still be energetic, and when he was doing this treatments, he can do very precise treatments, and his business would be even better. I believe that he's not really too concerned about making money, and he would have a lot of good clientele, but there's still these clients still need to do dental hygiene and also treatments. And so he continued his work, but every morning he would get up early and he would practice Energy Bagua and also help other people to practice Energy Bagua. This becomes a very happy thing for him every single day. So Dr. Xu made up his mind, made a vow that he would help other people and develop this Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point. Yes. Let's also listen to the sharings from other people in this Energy Bagua practice point. Hello, everyone. I'm 49 years old. My name is Jing Xianglan. I'm a professional translator. Almost every translator has neck issues and shoulder stiffness. We sit on the chair longer than most office workers, and often we work late into the night. Slowly, I became weaker and gradually had health issues. I had neck pain. When it's severe, it feels like needles prickling. When it's unbearable, I had to lay down and have a rest and continue to translate. The hospital found that my neck spine bent forward every time after injection therapy. The effect will last for 1 month or 2. When the pain returns, I had to get another injection. One day, I suddenly had severe abdominal pain, and I was diagnosed with ovarian cyst. Although it's only a fluid-filled tumor, and it has already grown to over 4 centimeters in size. I had my surgery when it was 5 centimeters big. She had surgical removal of the ovarian cyst in April 2014. Originally, I thought that everything will be fine after surgery. However, a few months later, more ovarian cysts were found. After having 2 surgeries in 1 year, my body couldn't bear it anymore. 2 surgeries in 1 year? The thing is that my body is always cold. Icy cold all over my body. It feels as if the blood circulating in my body is cold. My hands are cold. Anyone who touched my hand would be surprised. I must wear a jacket even in the summer. I can't wear sandals, so I toss them out. I thought if I bear it a bit longer, I'll get over it. So I took an injection whenever I have neck pain. One day, I had severe abdominal pain. I was sent to the emergency care unit, and it was because the ovarian cyst ruptured in the abdomen and entered into other internal organs. The doctor said if I didn't come immediately and stayed home for another 30 minutes, I might have died. I'm only 40 years old. Hearing the doctor say that, I was terrified. Starting to walk Energy Bagua in April 2017. After walking Energy Bagua for a week, my hands and feet starts to become warm. Also, my neck pain is gone. When I'm translating, my shoulder and neck are not painful anymore. Unlike before, I had to frequently lay down. Now, I can translate for several hours. After walking Energy Bagua for 7 months, my body temperature was back to normal. Even in November, no matter how cold it is, I want to walk Energy Bagua outdoors because after practice, my body becomes very warm. When I took off my hat, well, you can see the hot air above my hair. People pass by, will laugh at me, and my whole body is hot. My body so hot. My mind had never been so relaxed and happy. 6 months after surgery for the ruptured ovarian cyst, I went to the hospital for a follow-up check. The doctors were surprised. All the swelling in the ovaries and uterus was gone. The cyst didn't return either. The doctor asked if I took a long time off. I said, no, I've been working as normal. No ovarian cyst on October 19, 2019. Before, the blood in my body was cold. Now the blood is warm. Just this one change transformed everything for me. My mentality is different. I'm reborn with happiness. The spring of my life is here. Grandmaster JinBodhi gave me the spring of my life. He's my benefactor. I want to teach Energy Bagua to more people to show my gratitude to Grandmaster JinBodhi. And I recommend Energy Bagua to people who are as painful as I am, especially people who do chores at home and work. People in their 40s, 50s, people can work hard in their job and give their and so by practicing 1 hour every day, you can regain youthfulness and happiness. You can start a brand new life. Thank you, Grandmaster JinBodhi. I will never forget all your help. Thank you. And so we're very familiar with this sister. So for a translator, professional translator, their cervical spine is, leaning forward. It's very typical kind of occupational disease. For anybody who always need to work in the office by the table or a computer, actually today on the left side is the healthy cervical spine, and the blue one, on the right side is actually her cervical spine. It's very stiff and leaning forward. So there are lots of young students, even though they are very young, after they prepare for the exam for a long time, they would even also have the cervical pain. So this is a cost that they usually have to pay before an exam. Very common. And she also had some gynecological problem, and that's actually life-threatening. And she shared that this ovarian cyst it grows again and again. Even after the surgery, they would continue to grow. And so there was once that the cyst ruptured, and so the doctor said if she was late to the hospital for half an hour, she would lose her life. And because that will affect the other internal organs, so therefore can be life-threatening. So, sometimes if there's a hole in the stomach or intestines, then it could also be very, very dangerous and could be life-threatening. And so ever since she started to walk Energy Bagua in 2017, after only a week, her cervical spine pain completely disappeared. And then after a period of time, her hands and feet are not cold. And before, she always feel that her whole body is cold. And she described as like her whole body has the cold blood running all over. So some ladies are like this. So it's because Grandmaster said it's because they are lack of vital energy. And when they are lack of vital energy, they have many different kind of illnesses. Their hands and feet are very cold, so it will affect their overall health. And of course, it would also affect the gynecological issues. Yeah, so after 6 or 8 months now, she said, 6 months, yeah. So from a cold blood creature to a warm blood creature. And so now this is a very healthy temperature of the blood. It's almost like, that's why she said Grandmaster gave her a new spring of life. And also that very dangerous overall cyst never happened anymore. So very clean, completely clean. And the doctor was very, very surprised. Did you have a long, vacation? But she said she still continued to work. And so her cervical pain disappeared, and her whole body became warm. And the cyst never came back. So, and she also made a vow. Now she is the deputy leader of that Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point. And so she would also lead other people. Congratulations. I will. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to give a gift to Dr. Xu. I would also give a present to Jingxianglan. So I'll give you this silver inlaid bead. This is Incidol. Hope you auspiciousness, your business will be very prosperous and live 100 years. So for this, Madame Jing, wow, this is pretty. Look at this. What is this? This is turquoise. I'll give you a turquoise necklace. So this is an antique that we collected. I wish you happy every day. This is like a sunflower. I hope you happy and auspiciousness. And so, I need to learn. And so in Korean they said, okay, walk Energy Bagua every day. You live past 99 years old. And so Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point, there are many people will benefit it. And they're from many different careers. So let's continue to listen to their stories and their wonderful sharings. Yeah, let's continue. So this is Korean Cheryl Mokdong. Every morning at 6 a.m., there's a group of people walking Energy Bagua. The doctor said the hepatocirrhosis are very difficult to cure. Doctor suggests me to do a complete checkup for the stomach and intestine and said I can only live 1 or 2 more years. I feel that the body is deteriorating. Anything else cannot help. So in our lives, there's always some kind of ordeal and unavoidable. So the only hope a lot of times is the Energy Bagua for them. At the beginning of April, I went to have the checkup, and I'm so grateful that Energy Bagua actually gave me now the intestine, the big intestine is very clean. Every day when I walk Energy Bagua, I will show my love to the tree. Hello, everyone. My name is Jin Guangzhou. I've always been doing business. I do the clothes export to China and Japan. In Jiangnan, I also had those steam house business. 10 years ago, my business closed down, and I had an infarction, and so I had to take the medicines. The side effects caused the fatty liver, and also the doctor said that hepatocirrhosis is very difficult to cure, and so I had to take medicine after 3 months. They will check me again and then make decisions. So in August 2019, he started to walk Energy Bagua. Every 3 months after that, I will check again, and every time the hepatocirrhosis didn't get worse. Beginning of April, I went to check again. The doctor said all the indexes are now back to normal. Well, if it just remained the same, I'm very satisfied. It's now back to normal. I'm so surprised. I'm already aging before. My steps are very small. After walking 3 months of Energy Bagua, my steps are like a youth, as big steps are like young people. Every morning, the group of people walking around the park. I used to be always the slowest, but after walking Energy Bagua, I'm now the fastest. I walk ahead of everyone. And the fatigue disappeared. I feel younger and younger. I tried any kind of exercises, but Energy Bagua is the most effective. I'm truly grateful to Grandmaster JinBodhi to teach such wonderful Energy Bagua to allow me to regain my health. I'm so grateful to you. After practicing Energy Bagua, the liver index back to normal. He's walking big steps, very strong steps too. Turn. Turn your body. Continue to walk. My name is Ju Benqing. I'm a traditional Chinese doctor. Before, my physical condition was very bad. I had a very bad arrhythmia. And the heartbeat was so fast that I usually would hear the blood vessels in the brain. It was tong tong tong, and it really affects my sleep. Because I'm a traditional Chinese doctor, I took a lot of medicines, and I also use acupuncture, but there's no obvious result or improvement. I'd rather not learn these medical knowledge as long as I can be cured. I clearly know that my situation is deteriorating, getting worse, but nothing could help. I thought if it continues to develop, I would have a stroke and would be paralleled on the bed, so I got very depressed. I'm very sensitive, and I don't have any motivation to do anything. And so because of the health issue, he was forced to close the clinic. In 2019, I started to walk Energy Bagua. At the beginning, I sweat a lot. My whole body was very stiff, and I walked very hard. But unexpectedly, I lost weight. Before, I was 1.67 meters high and 76 kilograms, and now 79, I think, and now it's 72 kilograms after 3 months of walking Energy Bagua. Now also, I don't hear the blood vessels in my brain, and after 6 months, all the arrhythmia also disappeared. If I haven't started Energy Bagua, maybe I've already had a stroke and lying on bed all day long. So first of all, I'm so grateful for Grandmaster JinBodhi. And because of my health issues, when I was looking at my, before I only think, seeing patients is just a career. But now I want to help as many people as possible to reduce their pain and bring more joy and happiness to their life. So this is the most grateful part in my life. So for him, after practicing, the arrhythmia disappeared, and so we've seen more people improved. So the first is an entrepreneur. Jin Guangzhou is over 70 years old, and so this Mr. Jin had different kinds of businesses. Of course, as an entrepreneur, he has a lot of things that he needs to look after. And so 10 years ago, there was some crisis for the business, so they had to close down the business. That was a big shock for him, and so he had he had a myocardial infarction, so that's very, very dangerous. You know, these recently we have already learned from Grandmaster to check our heart health, you know, whether there will be some indications on the face, so we would know earlier about any signs of coronary heart disease. And the second thing Grandmaster taught us is how to prevent and relieve, and so having healthy diet and do exercises, all these combined together to, you know, to reduce the risk of heart disease. So for all the entrepreneurs and business people, so these are very good tips. And so for this Mr. Jing, he was very unfortunate. He had myocardial infarction, and so we don't know after this myocardial infarction. Some people, they have to do the bridge, or maybe they need to take medicines for a long time, and then the medicine also has side effects. So for him, that his liver was damaged because he had fatty liver, and also he had the hepatocirrhosis. Even though the heart was saved, but his liver, if it's already to hepatocirrhosis, it's already very, very serious. It's quite terrifying. If it gets even worse, it could become liver cancer, or maybe become the liver ascites, and then they might even end their lives. So we already know that hepatocirrhosis is really a red light. I believe for Mr. Jing, he was very, very worried and stressed about this. Very, very fortunately, he was able to learn Energy Bagua at the Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point. He already walked for 2 years. He always need to go and check his liver index, and so he would check every 3 months. So after walk 3 months, first time after 3 months, she first found that the hepatocirrhosis usually will get worse and worse. But for him, the first time he checked and it didn't get worse, so that's already a miracle. When this April, when he checked again, the hepatocirrhosis disappeared. All his liver index are back to normal. He was very, very, like, what a happy surprise. And so he was only expecting that it will not develop and get worse. And now it's back to normal. That is really a medical miracle. And so he said, oh, every day, and I'm walking Energy Bagua, I will send love to the tree. And my eyes were looking with love at the tree. So, yeah. So he walked 2 years already. After 1 year, he was able to fully control the hepatocirrhosis, but after 600 days, the hepatocirrhosis completely disappeared. I should say this is a miracle in hepatocirrhosis. For anybody who has liver disease, this is really a great hope for anyone who has liver disease. So learn from this Mr. Jing to start learning Energy Bagua, and also persist in the practice. If you only walk once or twice, it doesn't work. You need to walk, whatever, rain or shine, you need to walk. And then, yeah, every day for 100. Yeah, so if you walk every day, and then you will live past 99. So we're so happy for you. I'll give you a gift. So for What is it? Oh, this incident. This is silver-laid zibit. I wish Mr. Jing health, longevity, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. This is really wonderful. The second story shared is from a traditional Chinese doctor. He was a Chinese doctor, is supposed to, help others, but he couldn't help himself. He knows that he has the heart disease, and he was afraid that he would have the stroke and then get paralyzed. And as a doctor, because he's quite experienced, he could hear the blood vessels in the brain is like he can hear the sound of the blood vessel. Oh, that's very strange, very weird, right? And very dangerous. Yes, Grandmaster said it quite various. And this is quite life-threatening, and therefore he had to close down the the clinic, and because his health is deteriorating. And at this time he saw Energy Bagua. So what is the result? So first, all the symptoms for stroke disappeared, and the risk and the crisis is removed. And he opened his clinic again. And before, he only, as a Chinese doctor, he was just making money as a career. As a Chinese doctor, he just want to, make a living. But now he wants to be a compassionate doctor to help others. Yes. So that was 3 months after he walked Energy Bagua. So this hearing the blood vessels in the brain disappeared, and he won't hear the dong dong dong. And then after 6 months, all the symptoms completely disappeared. So only 6 months. Yeah. And he knew that if his symptoms would continue, he would have a stroke and get paralyzed on bed. And he also lost 7 kilograms. Yes, so he's more fit. Before, we can see a big belly. Actually, as a doctor, he didn't really pay too much attention to being fit. And so Energy Bagua really helped this doctor. Yeah, from the crisis of being paralyzed, and then being able to stop and remove the crisis and get back to health. And if I had taught about the indications on the face for the heart disease, a lot of even Chinese doctors, they don't know these indications too. Yeah, the lines on the nose, and also the lines on the earlobe. So maybe in the future, maybe the next live stream, or in a future live stream, I will disclose another indicator for the coronary heart disease. So if you know all 3 indicators appears, then this person is 100% having heart problem. So you really need to save your life. So the third indicator, not necessarily, whether the line will show on the nose first, or the earlobes first, or the third indicator will appear first, not necessarily. But if you see 2 of the 3 appears, then there's a high possibility of having heart disease. So you really need to adjust your diet and exercise, and also your mindset to save your life. Yeah, so these are all divine secrets, but it's very worthwhile to disclose to everybody who has karmic bond with us and who really need it. But we're not going to disclose this time. You don't need to hold your breath. Okay, we will choose a gift for this Chinese doctor. So the same. This is a silver inlaid bead. I wish you health, longevity, and auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. Receive. Thank you, Grandmaster. Okay, next. In Mokdong Energy Bagua practice point, they have even more professionals who benefited from Energy Bagua. Next sharing is from a police officer. Hello, everyone. I'm a student Zheng Renzhi. I've actually been a director of the police office for 5 sessions. Wow! And because of work, I always have to drink a lot of alcohol and smoke, so my health condition was very bad. Every 2 years, you know, the government staff will do those checkups, and I did those endoscopes, and there was like 2 or 3 polyp in the big intestine. And then after the retirement, I also had even more detailed checkup, and they said I had another problem. So I had to take a lot of medicine because of the side effect. I had those joint pain and also osteoporosis. And every time when I squat down, it's very painful. I want to use my wrist to stand up, but my wrist is also very sore. I've already walked Energy Bagua for 2 years and 6 months, and all these pain disappeared. This year when I had the checkup, I found my big intestine very clean, no polyp at all. I'm very grateful to find this wonderful and precious practice. I just have a very sincere wish. After the retirement, I will practice diligently. I will give back the positive energy to more people. I will be like Grandmaster JinBodhi and help more people. And thank you, Grandmaster. So after practice Energy Bagua, the joint pain disappeared. He can move very freely. So this is retired director of the police officer. But because of his work, he needs to drink a lot of alcohol and smoke, and they had to discuss on the dinner table or lunch table. And so this is like those officers or government officers or directors. They usually, because of a lot of pressure and stress, and they also smoke, you know. Yeah. And therefore, he hurt his health. For him, actually, his digestion system was hurt the most. So there's polyps growing in the big intestine. And so usually after, Grandmaster said, after some surgery, the polyps will continue to grow. And also, he also has another pancreatitis. It's also because eating a lot of food that's very very greasy or very difficult to digest. And, you know, this is very painful, the pancreatitis, and it's a very serious disease too. And so when it suddenly has inflammation, they need to use the anti-inflammation medicine. So then they need to use a big amount of anti-inflammatory medicine. And so because of the medicine, these medicine hurt his bones and definitely also, so Christine said it might also hurt his kidney. And so he had a lot of joint pain and osteoporosis, but that's because of the medicines. And so side effects of the medicine sometimes can be very serious, Grandmaster said. Maybe it healed the toothache but harmed your mouth. And usually the medicine hurts the livers and kidneys. And so this police chief started to walk Energy Bagua. Now he's already walked over 2 years, 2 years and 6 months. Now all the joint pain disappears. Now the polyp never grow anymore. Now the big intestine is now very, very clean because they are the civil services servants, and so they have the opportunity to do checkups frequently and so regularly. And the recent checkup, he found that his big intestine is completely clean. He was so, and he is so happy. And so these two big things are so encouraging and inspiring. Grandmaster says, I heard that pancreatitis is very difficult to cure, and if it continues to develop, it would be even worse. So Grandmaster said, we're not going to talk too much about it. It would definitely need to control it and need to protect our health. And so our police chief don't stop drinking alcohol and stop smoking anymore because it's not good for your health. Because they're government officers, they have these positions, so other people might invite them for dinners. And so now you have already listened to Grandmaster's teaching. So all these terrible indicators on the face already, if they already are there, you really need to have a very healthy lifestyle. And I like his expression at the end. He said, now I'm retired. I don't have too much things to do. I need to practice diligently. I also want to learn from Grandmaster to spread this practice to others. And I also want to learn from you to send positive energy to others. So I think that his goal is very good. So let's give him a big round of applause, and I will give him a gift. I will also give this Mr. Zheng this silver inlaid zibead. I wish you health, longevity, wish fulfillment, and auspiciousness in the future. Help more people. Yeah. Okay, and walk Energy Bagua every day and live past 99. And next, there's another entrepreneur, Mr. Sheng, also shares his benefit. From the beginning, it was quite beyond my expectation. I quickly feel the infinite charm of Energy Bagua, this effectiveness of Energy Bagua. After retirement, I'm now managing a small enterprise. Lots of things I need to manage and feel lack of energy. And starting from August 2019, I started to walk Energy Bagua. And he said, I feel the energy is charged so quickly. Before I had insomnia, but now it's much better. Oh, you need to drink coffee to, keep me awake. Yes. And Energy Bagua can charge quickly, replenish our energy. And for me, I don't know, how come I become so calm? How come recently I don't get angry anymore? Every time I meet with other people, I would walk 20 to 30 minutes of Energy Bagua. So naturally, I will have a very compassionate heart to treat them. Yeah. And being able to learn Energy Bagua is my biggest joy. I'm so sincerely grateful to Grandmaster JinBodhi. So this Mr. Sheng said he was lack of energy, and he already knew that he was lack of energy, and he couldn't sleep well. He had insomnia. He had bad temper. And also, he walked 2 years and 6 months. Now, look at him. And he said he can sleep very soundly, and he's full of energy. And he found also, whenever he need to meet somebody, he would walk Energy Bagua for like 20 to 30 minutes, and then he would have a very compassionate heart to deal with others, so he can have a very good meeting with others. Grandmaster said, yeah. And so this is also because full of energy. Before, Grandmaster said he was lack of energy, lack of vital energy. He had a lot of, symptoms. So before he meet important clients, say for example, the client is, the board of director of the board of a big company, and so because he's from a small enterprise, of course you feel the pressure, right? So then he would walk Energy Bagua after half an hour. Then he would be full of energy and full of confidence. Of course, he would be very confident and stable. And a lot of times because of the pressure, you might feel lack of confidence and you feel, a distress but you couldn't tell anybody. So he would walk Energy Bagua, and this is a wonderful way. And so when you're talking to others, you would feel very easy. But otherwise, you might lose order, and then after walking Energy Bagua, you would be very calm and peaceful, and so it's more likely to have a successful discussion. And so, if you need to have a very big negotiation and maybe before discussion about the contract, so after walking Energy Bagua, you go and talk, then it's very likely to have a very successful, negotiation, and so it would really greatly help your business. So Mr. Sheng increase his energy, and every time before making a big decision, he would walk Energy Bagua, and so this really helps her physical and mental health, and also helps his family and his business. So how big your business is, it depends on how much energy you have. So, is that a secret too? Yeah. If you want to do a big business, you need a lot of energy, right? Yeah, that's true. So in the physiognomy, in your external appearance, it actually shows how much energy you have. Very sick appearances would be full of sick energy and evil or energy. So you won't be able to do positive things because your energy field is not good. When you're going to talk positive things, how can you have a positive? When you're going to have an important discussion, how can you do it positively? And so if your energy is negative, you cannot do it right, and you would attract also negative things and negative people, and therefore the positive and kind energy will attract positive and kind business partners and partners, and so then it will help you to achieve that high level of life. And so, yeah, that's wonderful. Congratulations, Mr. Sheng. I'll give you a gift. Walk Energy Bagua. You live past 99. Wish Mr. Sheng health, longevity, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. Thank you, Grandmaster. Received. Yeah. We have one more, right? That's another doctor. Wonderful, wonderful. I see that you walk Energy Bagua with short sleeve in the winter. As long as there's no strong wind in the winter. Because when I'm walking Energy Bagua, I feel so hot, then I take off my jacket, and when it's too hot, then I will just wear the short sleeve. So Sheng Honggen, he's a traditional Chinese doctor in Korea. I walked 10 months of Energy Bagua, and I'm a traditional Chinese doctor. My name is Sheng Honggen. After 7 months of Energy Bagua, I started to have the change. My back started to feel warm, and eventually the heat comes to my dantian, my abdomen. The whole heat, spread to my whole body. Therefore, I only need to wear short sleeve. The best effect is that I'm like 4 or 5 years younger. I'm back to youth, and whatever I do, I don't feel tired. And once I did an experiment, I walked a very long way, on the Zhou Island, usually people can only walk one session of 16 kilometers. I walked 3 sessions, 53 kilometers, 67,000 steps. At night, I don't feel tired. And the next day when I get up, I feel I can walk another 53 kilometers. So the fatigue was reduced and I can get replenished very quickly. I want to challenge like 100,000 steps. Yeah. How old are you? I'm over 60 years old. I think my first half of life hasn't ended yet. In order for my next half life to be even more wonderful, I'll definitely walk Energy Bagua. Thank you, Grandmaster JinBodhi. I'm so grateful that I met Energy Bagua. I'll practice diligently. I'm so grateful that I was able to catch this opportunity. Thank you. So, Dr. Shen, yes. Yeah, he was wonderful. So when they did the interview, said, oh, they saw that he was walking Energy Bagua in the winter with short sleeve because he said his dantian and his chest and his back all warm. And in Seoul, in winter, a lot of times it would be snowing and it would be under actually -5 degrees, and he was only walking with short sleeves. Yeah, and he said he was younger, 4 or 5 years younger, and he felt back to youth. I think oh my God, he's really back to youth. He was able to walk 53 kilometers. I thought I probably the decimal point was wrong. Yeah, maybe 5.3 kilometers I can believe. To walk 53 kilometers a day? Oh my gosh. From Richmond, one end of Richmond to the other end of Richmond, and walk from morning to 10:30 p.m. So he was just showing how energetic he was, and he didn't feel tired. The next day he was able to walk again. And so for me, if I make up my mind to walk 53 kilometers, and next day I have to rest definitely. But he said he would be able to walk 53 kilometers again. Well, Grandmaster said because he has already accumulated lots of energy there, so it's no problem for him to walk even a whole week of so many kilometers. You know, when I was young, other people would hiking, walk up, climb up, but I would be jumping like 2-3 steps, and so people feel like I'm flying up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so admirable. A lot of people feel when they are hiking, their legs are so heavy, like there's a big heavy sack on their feet. But I feel like I have a wing on my shoulders. And usually it's snowing outside, and I don't, meet a lot of other people. So when it's so hot, I would just wear a tank top, and then it's snowing outside. But my body is still dry because my heat. I didn't feel the snow. Yeah, the snow didn't even touch me because the heat actually dispelled the snowflakes. The snowflakes won't even be able to touch me. And so when I'm hiking, Christine said, I have to say, oh, Grandmaster, wait for me. Oh. So Grandmaster said, okay, wait, I'll throw you down a rope. Okay, I'll catch it. So this Dr. Shen is really full of energy. Of course, this will help him to be healthy and live long. But I like to remind Dr. Shen, when he is exercising, I think to keep health is more important, but less competitive. If you walk such long distance, what if there are other issues arise because you're already at this age? because our internal organs are aging. If any other issues arise, it doesn't mean that you have a lot of energy, you don't have any other issues, because your organs, you don't want the other organs to have any potential issues. Even a young people, you don't even need to do such strenuous exercise. So I like to remind our online friends, our exercises, it's all for health and for longevity. This is our purpose and goal. The practice is not for competition. Please fully understand my teaching and my meaning of this practice. So let's do more gentle exercises that suit to this age, like Energy Bagua aerobics and Energy Bagua. These are very suitable and good gentle exercises. I also searched online exercises, gentle exercises. I want to recommend those to our online friends, but I found that a lot of their movements are not suitable for seniors. Even in my youth, when I was young, I met a lot of senior people. I know that a lot of the movements, even though they are not sick, that they cannot do so many, big movements. And so health and longevity is the most important. So Christine said, when we get to a certain age, when we have already accumulated a lot of energy, so cultivating our qi and our health is most important, but try to reduce some competition. So try to reduce some physical competition, but you can have like a chess competition or or goal game. And so a lot of the physical competition can harm ourselves because you want to win, and after some strenuous exercise, maybe you'll be spitting out blood, or that would not be good. So if you exercise overly, then it could be unexpected things happen. We're so grateful for this kind reminder, and he is very energetic and useful. But reserve your energy and conserve your energy, and what we want is health and longevity only. And so I'll give you this will help bring you health, longevity, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. Zbid. Receive. Thank you, Grandmaster. So next, let's watch another sharing from another senior.
So these new students at the Mokdong Energy Bagua point, they all have different professions, and they have been working for Energy Bagua for a short time. Have these new students also benefited? My name is Shen, and I am 76 years old and have just retired. My abdomen is getting bigger and bigger. I'm getting lazier. My hands are numb, and I can't really sit properly. I have to sit suddenly down like this. And after practicing Energy Bagua, there was miraculous change. The bottom of my feet are warm, and there is better blood flow. My shoulder and knee pain are relieved. Before, I can't jump like this. You've only worked for 50 days, right? Oh, 52 days. I will continue to work Energy Bagua diligently until one day when I cannot work at all. Although I have only seen Grandmaster JinBodhi on YouTube, I am truly grateful to you. Practicing happily every day. This person suddenly showed us his hand. Oh, his hand is very warm. My hand is finally warm. Was your hand warm before. This is his dream. Mokdong Energy Bagua point. To work Energy Bagua, I changed my schedule so that I have enough time to prepare for a day. And now I also have time to read. This is Mokdong Energy Bagua point. He's so happy, right? This is Mokdong Energy Bagua point at White Jade Bodhi Meditation Center in Seoul. There's a lot of men working Energy Bagua. It's previously we heard the stories of people who have worked Energy Bagua for 2 years or more, and the last two we saw, they are new students. The elderly man can jump now. He's 76 years old already, and he said that he had pain here and there. He has pain everywhere. And after working Energy Bagua for 52 days, he doesn't have pain anymore and he can jump. This is all because of energy. Look at his body. He is slightly overweight. And also his bones and his vital energy. It's not enough to support his body, whether he is sitting, standing, or laying. He has pain all over, and it's all because of energy. And also, I think when I look at his face, because he is 76 years old and because of his body physique, he might also have heart and also coronary artery illnesses. He probably already have these issues, and that's why he has a lot of joint and limb pain and weakness of legs and arms, and that's why he has bigger abdomen. And so this type of physique, if you have such a physique and you are middle-aged or senior, then you should be careful of coronary heart illnesses. And yesterday we already mentioned what should you do if you have the symptoms. Then be careful of your diet and exercise more. Eat less oil, salt, sugar, and also don't smoke, don't drink. Eat less meat, and also work Energy Bagua. Maybe this way you will be able to heal yourself. Otherwise, you might regret it. And so Mr. Shen, he should also lose some weight. Be careful of how much you eat, and also eat less. Try not to eat any meat. Many Korean people's diet are healthy. I remember I visited many Korean people's homes. Their kitchen is very clean and they don't have a lot of bottles of oil. In a Chinese family, you will see many bottles of cooking oil. And it's not the case for Korean families. And I visited a family of 4 in Korea, and they only use half a bottle of cooking oil every year. And frequently, they wash their vegetables and put some kimchi sauce, stir it in that, and then eat it like that. Sometimes they also dip it in soybean paste. What about Chinese people? We always stir fry and we fry everything, especially for festivals. Especially northern Chinese people, they have to fry everything. We rarely see fresh vegetables. When we first visited northern China, they didn't know what type of food we eat, and so they had to and they served us a lot of fried food. Also, fried food is very tasty, but it's not healthy. Think about it. If you eat French fries, after eating 15 slices of French fries, they might already have excessive heat in their body, and their eyes starts to blur, and their face shows signs of excessive heat. And I want to wish Mr. Shen exercise more and change your diet and living habit. And there's a gift for you too. Thank you, Master. When they were filming, I can see myself when I was an Energy Bagua beginner. I can't keep my arms up for a long time, and it's normal, and you just have to persist. Also, your posture is not correct, but the effect is still there. I want to give you this. This is a Vaja seed. If you wear this bead, I hope you will be healthy, have longevity and auspiciousness. Work Energy Bagua every day to live past 99. I'm so happy. Today, we saw many people from the Mokdong Energy Bagua point from Seoul Body Meditation Center. And a lot of them are white collars, professionals, people who are middle-aged and important positions of the workforce. And a lot of them, they don't use a lot of physical strength at work. They use a lot of their brain. And if you use a lot of physical strength at work, like a chef, then you might have more issues. The cooking pot is very heavy. You might have shoulder, wrist issues. And also, you are always standing in front of the stove, and there's a lot of fire. Especially Chinese chefs, if you are always facing that fire, would you absorb fire energy from it? Yes, of course, and you cannot avoid the smoke as well. Previously, I've read something. I remember that people who are chefs, and if you frequently cook at home, it will damage your lungs. If you're not a professional chef, cooking at home wouldn't damage it too much. But even when cooking at home, there's a lot of smoke, and it will damage your lungs. Not to say chefs, they have to cook in front of the stove for several hours a day. What other issues do chefs have? They might have bad temper. What about more scientifically? Are they absorbing grease and grease fats from cooking, and also the fire energy from the stove? And a mixture of all these, where does it accumulate? It will accumulate in the liver, heart, and kidney. So many chefs, they have a small appetite, but they are still overweight because they absorb all these through their nose, these high-calorie substances. And sometimes you don't see the oil because it's condensed. But if we have some sort of scientific device, you would be able to detect the amount of oil, grease in the air. Many families have a cooking hood, and on that hood there is a small container that captures the grease that went through the hood. And also, a family that doesn't cook very frequently, that container will be full after a month. And so that's a lot of grease. And the hood only extracts a portion of the grease, and we also absorb some when we're cooking. And the chefs, they get overweight from these absorption, and it damages their heart and kidney. And so many chefs many chefs cannot live very long unless you retire early and take care of yourself. If you were a chef for over 30 years, I think your health is just not very good. Christine says you might want to change your career and sell your business. Compared to the stories that we heard, chefs' health problems, chefs' occupational diseases are more severe than those people. What about other occupations? For example, teachers. Teachers work in a better environment, right? But when I think about the teachers, they are talking every day in class and it hurts their throat. They might have sore throat. And they are standing all day long. If they stand all day long, they might have leg pain, lower back pain, varicose veins, especially for ladies. It's more likely for female to have varicose veins. And there's also more female teachers too. If you are always standing, the veins in your lower leg swell, and I've seen a few people with varicose veins. There are pus coming out from their legs. I remember the first person I know who have varicose veins is a prominent doctor in the Qinghai hospital. And after he had varicose veins, he couldn't be a doctor anymore. He can only do other chores in the hospital, and her leg is often wrapped in gauze, and no one can help her. The director of the hospital even suggested that she should get her legs amputated, and I healed her. I remember my teacher in my elementary school, they are always in a bad mood and they have bad tempers. Are the teachers competing with each other? Yes, they do. They compete for outstanding teachers, and even they compete for their class students' grade. And also in elementary school, they compare graduation rate. In every country, the school board asks teachers to compete, and that's why the teachers have excessive heat in their liver. And some students are very naughty too. When you're teaching these naughty kids, but you're also putting us at competition, why should we compete? And some teachers, when they go home, they might when I was in senior high school, my teacher was a freshman, was a new teacher, and we were so naughty that he burst into tears. He cried because of our competition. Our class didn't have very good grade, but we were very good in PE and in music. We're very good. We always ranked first in basketball and and running. And later on, we worked hard and we got good grades. Even the male teachers cried. It's not easy. If you don't study well, he might kneel down before the students. It's difficult to be a teacher. You can't say anything. You can't scold the students. And you can't hit the students either. It's very difficult for
teachers.
不容易，不容易，向老师致敬。
We
真的
have
是
to
向老师
respect
致
the
敬
teachers.
职业病呢
And
是
so
很多
occupational
哎，所以
diseases
老师
for
最容易
teachers,
得的是什么？
there's
心
a
脏
lot
病
of them. And they might have heart illnesses,
对，每
high
天那个
blood
火没地方
pressure,
宣泄
because
哎，
they
所以作为这个
accumulate a
老师
lot
的
of
这个家
fire
人是不
energy
容易
in
的
their
他回家
liver.
呢就得排泄哈，出
It's
气筒。
not
老师
easy
其实
for
还是
them
要继续工作的，他们
at
下班
work,
回家
and
都
so
要
when they
看
get
剧
back
作
home,
业
they
嗯
probably
特别是到
want
了
to
什么
vent.
初三
Christine
高
says
三
that
关键的
these
升学的
teachers,
班
even when they get home, they still have to work. They have to look at
又费心又
students'
费
exams.
又费心又
and
劳神还费眼。
对
They have a lot on their mind,
之前我还
and
记得以前都是粉笔嘛，老师还有就是吸很大
Uli says, I remember when I was young, the teachers used a lot of chalk, and the chalk powder is not good for their lungs either.
排值班生去给老师擦黑板。
And so before, when I was in school, we
哎，
um,
哎，现在是不是都改了？是吧
even though the students are erasing the blackboard, but the teachers are still absorbing, taking in the chalk powders. And also in North America,
对
right now they don't use chalk anymore. They use computers to teach. They have an iPad or laptops,
嗯，
and it
所
might
以
be
说做
better
老
now.
师不容易哈。
So it's not
你
easy
看
to be a
我们已
teacher.
经说出很多种病了，
We have
就光
already
一个心
mentioned
情
a
不
lot
好
of
天天
illnesses.
生气，
First,
就可以引
bad
发可以
temper
引发癌症。
will
最好的是
trigger
肝火旺
many
嗯
illnesses, for
哎这
example,
很多病就
cancer.
出来了
And
向老师致敬。
哎
liver
咱们再说说别的职业。
energy will also trigger some other illnesses too. What about other professions? Doctors, for example, surgeons are not easy too. These surgeons, when they are doing surgery, they have to bend over, and many people they have cervical spine issues. I knew a surgeon. He told me that on average, their surgery, each operation is 8 hours, and 4 hours surgery is very short. And some
久啊，
some bigger operations take more than 10 hours.
不是这本身这就是一种风险，
And there's
对
a
不
lot
对？
of
说到后
risk
半截肯定都是缝错的
When-
地方，割错地方。
when the operation is very long. Their eyes might get blurry. And so a lot of these surgeons also have stomach issues because sometimes they're always hungry and they can't eat. And they also have kidney stones, and their work is very intensive because they're very stressful because they're doing surgery for someone. And also they need to pay a lot of attention when they're holding the surgical knife. They have to be very precise with and use fine motor movements.
做手术这么高紧
If-
张、高难度、高技术含
As
量
a
的东西
surgeon,
啊
your
你就是
profession
做5
requires a
分钟
lot of
这就一身大汗出来
attention,
就
and
紧张嘛
even
哈
due
对
to
呀
the
所
stress
以你要做
and
8个小时那不得了。
even
我
doing
觉得
surgery
下班
for
早
5
才行
minutes, you
对不对？
might start
对，
to
像这
sweat.
是心脏外科还有做脑神经的，
哦
脑
And
外
there's
科的
also
你会
people
发
who
对
这些都是
and
医
there's
医
also
院里最优秀
neurosurgeons.
的这些
These
老
are
师
the
精英啊
best
太宝贵了
doctors
这样的社
who
会
can
精
do
英人
the
才我们要
who
好好
can do
保
these
护
surgeries.
保护用
And
什么
we
好
have
看
to
八卦内功对
to
真
take
的
and they, to
对
take out to
你
take
看
care
举
of
着那个
our
手哈
bodies.
一直，你看
If
那个手多
during
稳
Energy Bagua,
你的
we
下盘儿稳
hold
定
our
手稳
hand
啊像
up
我们这样的
and
手呢
our
就是射
legs
箭呐、打
are
枪啊、做
steady,
手术
our
啊、
hands
画
are
画啊
steady,
那个手是
and
很稳
with
的
a steady hand,
就是
you
这样。
can do archery,
小
you
时
can
候呢
paint.
师傅训练我呢，是他说最好
When I
是
was
端个碗
young, when my
碗里头
master
上
trained
他
me,
说
he
跟我
said
那
that
年龄
I
小嘛
should hold
倒上
a
这个
bowl
1/3的
of
水
water,
啊，
oh,
你走1
one
个小时
third
下来，这个水还都在
one
里
third bowl of water,
我那个学的动作
and
多
walk
啊
Energy
反正动作
Bagua.
还有难度的
And
动
after
作
working for
这
an
个水要
hour,
不要
the
洒
water
啊
is still in the
哎
bowl.
一开手就
And
塞了
when
好
I
几个碗
learned, my
一不
movement
小
is
心
different
那个
from
碗出
yours, and there's a
跑
lot of
有
different
时候风
movements.
大
And
特别恨那个
sometimes
刮风
I will spill the water.
你水
And
少呀
also,
是不是啊？水多
back
了水就
then
能
it
出来
was
对
very
不对
windy,
哎
and the
举着也很
wind
累
would even
那
blow the
很矛
water
盾
out. And
哎
it's very
但是
tired
呢
holding my hand
2
up
年以
with
后
a bowl of
我的
water.
手就
But
好稳
after
了
2
所以
years,
我
my
就特别
hands
喜
are
欢的话
very
如
steady.
果家里头还有在外面给师傅端饭哈，
And so when I was young, when I serve my master food, I will layer these bowls on my arm, and I can hold them steadily and serve them to my master. And if I start to cook a knife-shaped noodle, I will do a very good job at it because my hands are very steady. After this training, I have a very good sense of movement. And so practicing Energy Bagua, we talked about surgeons, right? So Energy Bagua is very beneficial to these surgeons when you do operations. You can try it. After walking Energy Bagua, your feet will also have grow eyes. It's not a physical eye that grows on your feet, but during the training, at the advanced training, my master requires that every part of your body has eyes. You will see everything around you, including what's beneath your feet. And when I was young, you say that there is a table, the leg of the table, right? And I will accidentally kick my leg on the table. I shouldn't be kicking it, but I can't coordinate my eyes and feet, and so I would just kick that. And after practicing Energy Bagua, you can see it, observe it from my shoes. I can wear the shoes for 4 years, and it wouldn't be broken because my walking posture doesn't rub the soles of the shoes. And also, I don't step on or kick on random things. Rarely did I kick on things. I don't kick on stones on the road. And so that's why I use a metaphor that there are eyes on my feet. If there is a party, I can hold a plate of water through the crowd of people and arrive at my destination safely. So Energy Bagua training, it gives you these steady and agile movement, and so you can reach your destination accurately, and you can calculate, you can accurately predict what the person will do around you. It sounds like a martial arts training, right? Yes, it's mixed in it, so that your movements are coordinated and you will not run into other people. Many elderlies, after walking Energy Bagua, they feel, oh, I can walk very easily now, and they don't kick things. And so in the future advanced Energy Bagua classes, you can try it for yourself now. When you're walking Energy Bagua yourself, you can put some small pieces of stone in the circle that you walk. Put it randomly. Don't put it in a regular pattern. At the beginning, when I started, I actually put small pieces of brick. Either that I don't kick on the bricks, or I only step on the bricks. And no matter what movement I do, I have to step on the brick. Lay the brick flat on the ground and try it. Some people might strain their ankle when they try this, but after training, only after 1 month of training, your feet will have eyes and they know where it's going. Thank you, Master. We look forward to such training, but it's not easy. Master, I want to talk about another profession. Drivers. In many countries, there's a lot of drivers, truck drivers, bus drivers,
现在还有很多是开
and
这个出租
there's
车
also
或者是
people
我们讲
who
Uber 司机
drive
Uber 司
taxi,
机有
taxi
很多
drivers,
是受到
Uber
专业
drivers.
司机了任何人都
Uber
可以是
drivers
这个
might
Uber
not
司
be
机对不对
a professional driver, but anyone can become a
开
Uber
车是
driver.
上下班或者我们
And
去
even
另外
though
一个
if you're
城市
not a
或者要
professional
去另外
driver,
一
when
个
we
长
commute to
远
work,
一点的地
if
方
we are
长途开
driving
车的时
to
候
driving
我们
long
都会有
distance to
一个
another
也是跟这个职
city,
业有关系的，就是
we
腰肌劳损。
we might
腰
experience
特别容易犯还有我知道以
back
前
muscle
我们坐
issues.
出租车多的时
And
候
also
啊，在
when
国内
we
好多
were
出租车
in
司机
when I
就是
was
还有
in
一个
China,
常见病，就是
I
胃病。
took
那
taxi
没
a
有
lot,
诊断是
and
吧
many
因为
taxi
他没有
drivers
拿到
have
诊
stomach
断的时候
illnesses
他如果
because
客人
they
他还得继续工
don't
作呀
eat
所以他们
regularly,
吃饭也是早
and
顿晚
so
顿有
sometimes they
有一
eat
顿的，所以很
early,
多司
sometimes
机
they
也
eat
不
less,
是
sometimes
我
they
相信
skip a
很多可
meal,
能
and
做
so
这
many
种卡车
taxi
司机
drivers
包括
have
大卡车
these
的也会有这样的
stomach
疾病
issues,
嗯
and probably many
还有
truck
就是憋
drivers
尿
also have these
对
issues.
说的不好
And
听
also
啊
another
是
thing
我之
is
前很多好
holding
多
their
出租车司
urine.
机都是说
I
他
heard
们
many
需要
taxi
找
drivers
一个可以
say
让他
that
去上厕所方便的
it's
地方都不
it's
容
not
易
easy for them to find a place
对
where
对
they can
对
go to the
所以出租
washroom.
车司机特别喜欢加油站，
哎，
所以容易吸引
So
司机
taxi
去的加油
drivers
站就一定
loves
有厕所。
gas stations because there's a
所以大家
public
出门在
washroom.
外哈，有些外
And
地人
when
哈
you're on the
找一个
road,
地方停车
especially people from
啊
out of
能够
town,
洗把手
if
上
you
个
can
厕所
find a place
这个就
to
觉得很愉快了。
park your car, go to the
所以就是
washroom and
找这样的加油
clean
站
your wash your hands,
所以做
it's
这个
already
司机来说也是不
content
容易
enough.
很
So
多
it's
职业病
not easy
所以
to
憋
be
尿
a
这个问题
driver.
容易引发什么呢？
And holding your urine, what issue does
对
it cause? Kidney
肾
stones.
结石就来了。
对，
哎，所以呢，司机容易得
So
肾结石
drivers, they're more likely to have kidney stones and
对
other
听说泌
urinary
尿系
system
统也容易出问
illnesses
对，
因为他一直坐在那儿，
because they're always
啊，整
sitting.
个这个臀部这一块儿也不透气，哎，对，也动不了，哎，所以的话，
There's
整个
no
这一块儿的器
airflow
官上容易
beneath
得
their
病
buttock,
嗯，
and so
是，
all
所以
the
各种
lower
各样的职业都会引
part
发职业
might
病，
have
因为
illnesses.
长期
So
你要靠
many
这个吃饭，
there
一
are
坐就
many
若干个小
occupational
时，一持续
diseases
就超
when
过
you
10年以
work
上
you work
一定有一些
for
职业的伤害
long hours a day and you
所以
work
呢，各种人大家都从事的
for
某些职业
years.
嘛哈。
Everyone
所以的话，
have
还是
a
注意
profession, have a
我们有
job,
机缘的
and
话
we should
来学习一
be
下八卦内
careful
功啊，
of our
还要
health.
改
If
善一
there
下
is
自
a
己的
chance,
这种
come and
饮食的习惯，
learn Energy
我想对
Bagua
大家的帮
and
助一定
change
是很大
your
的。
diet habit. And I think it will be very
非常
beneficial
感
for
谢我
you.
们韩国首尔禅堂
I'm
木
very
洞八卦
grateful
店
to
从我们的徐医
Mokdong
生徐
Energy
店长
Bagua
开始
Point,
以及
starting
到
from
我们的
um,
金副店长还有
Leader
更多
Xu
更多的
to
今天来
Deputy
参与
Leader
分享的
Jin
这些
and
学
everyone
员们
who
真的是
shared
感谢你们的
today.
故事带
Thank
给
you
了我
for
们很
sharing
大的
your
关于他们
story.
这
It
些
has
各式各样
brought
职业
us
病的很大的
an
启发。
opportunity
我们也很
to
高兴看
discuss
到八卦内功给你们带来
occupational
这么大的
disease.
受益
And we're
受
also
益
very
让我们
happy to
恢复
see
的
that
健
Energy
康
Bagua
非
has
常
brought
的
so
欢喜
many
所以
benefits
师
to
傅我也
you.
是有个
Master,
喜请
I
我觉得
have
我们这个木洞八卦店值得表彰
I think
我们
we
的这个
should
徐店长
re-
您看
give
怎么样？
now a
非常
word
值得
to
表
the
彰。
Mokdong
也是
Energy
我
Bagua
给他准
Point.
备了礼物
And
好呀，
啊，先给徐店长哈。
so
也是徐
first,
医生
let me
哈
give a gift
Mm.
to Energy Bagua Point leader Xu, Dr. Xu,
因为在那帮了那么多的人
because he has
哎
helped
成为
so many
这个
people.
八卦内功优秀八卦
He-
店
I
长啊，这位徐医生
Give him
啊
the award of Outstanding Energy Bagua Point leader.
好，还有呢，给我们这个
And
八卦点
next,
木洞八卦点
For Mokdong Energy Bagua Point,
优秀八卦点的
Outstanding
奖状
Energy
对
Bagua Point
木洞
uh,
八卦点哈
certificate.
成为优秀八卦点。你看帮了那么多人，
Mokdong
让
is
大
an
家受益哈
outstanding energy
这
Bagua
非
point.
常
They
值得
have
的表
helped
彰
many
哈
people.
我替你
and
们高
worse
兴，以你们为荣啊！
This award, I
太棒
am
了
师傅
proud of you.
哎
有掌声。
哎，所以我们韩国呢，其他
So-
禅堂、其他的八卦点哈，
So
向
South
木洞
Korea's
八卦
other
点学习
energy
哈
Bagua
哎争取多帮
points
到更
should
多的人哈
learn from the Mokdong Energy Bagua point and help
也
more
欢迎大
people.
家哈
I
去
welcome
自己找
everyone
自己去联络
to
这个木洞
contact
八卦点哈
Mokdong Energy
那么
Bagua
其实呢，木
point.
洞八卦点呢，
Mokdong Mokdong Energy Bagua
我们
point
这个
is
白玉禅堂哈，首尔的白玉禅堂的
is under the guidance of White Jade Bodhi Meditation in Seoul, South Korea, and their Energy Bagua point is very prosperous and help many people. This is their address. Congratulations. I have more gifts that I want to give to everyone at the Mokdong Energy Bagua points. There's a lot of bracelets. There's different types of gifts all in this tray here. And I want to give it to everyone from the Mokdong Energy Bagua point. I wish everyone health and longevity.
好，师傅，那看完了木洞八卦店的这些这一系列的见证以后呢，
After
还有一个非常感人的见证。
listening to these sharings at Mokdong Energy Bagua point, there's another one. This Energy Bagua practitioner has finished working 1,000 days of Energy Bagua. Let's look at his sharing. Hello everyone, my name is Liu Yicheng. I have just completed a 1,000-day Energy Bagua practice. I have practiced in many types of sports: boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, wrestling. In February 2019, I was in a practice match while my opponent tried to pin me down to the ground. I used my left leg to counterattack him. I didn't expect my opponent would put all his body weight on my left leg. My opponent weighed 100 kilograms at the time. That weight collided into my left hip joint. Like cancer, hip joint injury is categorized into 4 stages. Stage 4 injury required hip replacement surgery. I had late stage 3 injury. The doctor said I will never be able to wear my sports uniform again. He said, don't even think about it, don't even try. It's impossible for me to do sports again. He urged me to give up sports. At the time, I was training to compete every day. It's blown me. My life is completely different. I can't live without painkillers. I can't turn in bed because of the pain. I can't move due to the pain. And I often wake up because of the pain. It's unbearable. I frequently woke up from the pain. And pain is not enough to describe the agony I'm in. Crossing the street becomes terrifying too. Before the green light turns red, I have to cross the street. I'm afraid of walking too slow. It's terrifying. I felt useless and wondered, what's the meaning of life if I live like this? I thought about suicide or get rid of this life completely. Many bad thoughts came to mind. I also wondered, what have I done wrong? I didn't do any evil things in this life. Why was I injured? Why do I have to bear so much pain? I complained a lot. Meeting Energy Bagua. I began to work Energy Bagua on June 13, 2019. At the beginning, he had to take the anti-inflammatory painkiller before working Energy Bagua. After about 20 minutes, the drug's effect wears off and the pain returns. The pain returns about every 20 minutes. It's a miracle. As my 108-day practice comes to completion, I realized that there's no more pain after working for 20 minutes. And day after day, the time without pain got longer. On the 199th day of practice, I completely stopped taking anti-inflammatory painkillers. Around the 700th day of practice, I realized I can turn my body easily. Before, I can turn only 30 degrees at a time. It took several steps to turn into position. One day, I suddenly realized I can turn easily 180 degrees. How did this happen? I was stunned. Every time I practice closing exercise, I don't dare to pat the hips because of the pain. Now I can pat however I want. How? So magical. I'm surprised too. It's miraculous.
I have more courage to continue work Energy Bagua. I'm not scared of crossing the street anymore. I can even run across. Anyone who have hip arthritis cannot squat lower than knee height. On the 1000th day of practicing Energy Bagua, miracle happened again. I was squatting like this. I squat down. I started crying. How? How? After I stood up, I realized I can squat now. This is a posture that a patient cannot perform even after hip replacement surgery. And I didn't have surgery, and now I can squat. Actually, anyone who has physical pain also experiences psychological pain. Our mind becomes weak. I have regained physical health through practicing Energy Bagua, but more importantly, I have also regained mental health. As I practice day after day, 300, 400, 700, 800 days, my heart gradually opened. I started to appreciate the leaves falling onto the ground. I observed ants. I perceived the energy of living beings around me. Slowly, gratitude grew in my heart. Grandmaster JinBodhi is my biggest benefactor. He taught me Energy Bagua. Calling him benefactor isn't enough to show my gratitude. I'm very grateful. If it were not for Energy Bagua, I can't believe I'll be able to work normally. Because of my gratitude, I aspire to teach Energy Bagua to more people. Sangam World Cup Stadium at 3 a.m. If you have thought about dying once before, please be courageous and practice Energy Bagua with me before dawn. I want to build an Energy Bagua people for these people. The location is at Sangam World Cup Stadium in Mokdong, Mapo, Seoul. I will be here every day at 3 a.m. in the morning, in wind, in rain, or in snow. I will be here. I'm touched. This sharing from Mr. Liu, it's not like before where I'm just so happy for everyone. When he told his story, he's talking to the softest part in my heart. I'm touched by his story, and I'm touched by Grandmaster's Energy Bagua. I now understand why Master says that Energy Bagua can save a person's health and their heart, their mind. I think the word rescue is the right word for it. Let's look at his story. He is a professional athlete, and after such a severe injury, the pain he was in caused him to think about suicide. When he talked about it himself, you can feel he was very clear that his pain was extreme and he had no other way out. For such a man, he was crying and he was thinking about suicide. Because after his injury, his life changed. Before he was injured, he was healthier than many people. He was stronger than many people. And a regular man cannot compete with him, especially from martial arts aspect. And he has won many trophies. And such a person, he feels that he is a strong person. But one day, he suddenly realizes that he even have issue going to the bathroom. He can't squat down, and he needs other people's help and care. And this change, it's like one is on the heaven and the other is on the earth. He can't stand this change. I think many people can resonate with his story, because when we suffer such a tragedy, when we have this pain, we are in the same shoes as he is. I see many people online are leaving messages that they resonate with his story. So his issue showed up in his physical body, so that he cannot live or work normally. He was such a strong man that when he's crossing the street, when he's waiting, crossing the crossroad, he's worried that he cannot finish crossing the road when the light turns red. How much energy did he have? Did his energy, would he be able to think normally with such a low energy? And that's why he had thought about giving up his life. And the medicine cannot help him. The hip joint was damaged, and it's the sport injury. And so it's bone rubbing on bones, and that's why he has so much pain that he cannot move his legs, and it directly affects his life, and the doctors cannot do anything. And Mr. Liu, when he walked Energy Bagua, he has great persistence. Also, he had so much pain, he chose to walk Energy Bagua. I think the person who introduced Energy Bagua to him introduced it to him very clearly. And I think he probably has visited many doctors, and no doctor had a solution for him, and that's why he thought Energy Bagua was his way out. That's why he persisted in walking for 3 years. When on the 199th day of practice, he stopped taking anti-inflammatory painkillers completely. And before that, he had to take a painkiller every 20 minutes. So before he started walking Energy Bagua, he has to take a painkiller first, and the pain will return 20 minutes later. And after walking for 199 days, he stopped taking the painkillers. And that's the first improvement. On the 700th day of practice, he can turn his body easily. We think that turning your body is very easy, right? But as he demonstrated at the beginning, he can only turn his body by small steps, like an elder lady. The way that he was turning feels like someone who had a stroke and had partial paralysis. And so being able to turn easily is a great improvement for him. On the 1000th day of practice, he can squat down. And at this video, we are happy for him, we are sad for him, we're moved by him that he is holding the tree there and just crying. Everyone who sees it will be moved. It's a feeling of rebirth, Master says. He said that people who have stage 3 hip injury cannot squat down. Even if they try to squat a little bit, there's a lot of pain. And after he cried, he suddenly realized, oh, I'm squatting now. His case is his case actually brings a lot of inspiration for people who have hip pain, leg pain. And he had such a severe injury that he took a painkiller before started walking Energy Bagua. And then he reached complete healing after 1,000 days. It brings many people hope. Many people who, when they're after they're 60 years old, they already have back pain and leg pain. Some people, they might say that, oh, I already have this pain, I don't want to walk anymore. Even the doctor told me that I should walk less so that I don't put any strain on my kneecaps. The doctor told that when I have leg pain, I should walk less so that I don't damage my bones. Then which one is correct? Which doctor is correct? I don't know. If you come to me, I will tell you to walk, walk, and walk. Only when you walk, you will heal. Even if you have healthy legs, if you don't walk for a year, you won't be able to walk anymore. And with this walking energy bagua practice, your limbs will be more agile. You will regain use. And Mr. Liu's story is the best example. So people who have leg pain and lower back pain, come and practice. If you don't practice and if you don't walk, you will never be able to walk again. You are originally you're energized and you're walking, jumping every day. But one day, when you suddenly you cannot walk, how would you feel? That's when all the troubles will come. This is a very good example for everyone. Not only does his story touch you, but it touches everyone. And so I want to give him. This is the first person who receives this badge. 1,000 days of practice. Take a look here. Oh, it's beautiful. This badge, if you didn't work for 1,000 days, you cannot wear this badge. Anyone who worked over 1,000 days, you will have been reborn. You will have longevity. Not only you have regained good health, but you are the most determined person in the world. Some people say that I have learned something for 10 years, but did you practice it every day for 10 years? Can you practice 1 hour a day for 1,000 days? If you can do that, you are outstanding. You have been reborn. And also, if you didn't have a severe illness, you will have already gained the secret code of longevity. And that's why I have specially designed this 1,000-day badge. And I want to give this badge to Mr. Liu Yicheng. I wish you good health and longevity. May all your wishes come true. May your body, mind, and soul have the same lifespan as heaven and earth. So he is the first person to receive this noble badge. It is made of a strong magnet, and you can put it on your clothes. And also, I want to give him Energy Bagua clothing that I designed. Whether you are working Energy Bagua or in your life, you can always wear it. It is predominantly made of cotton. And it's very comfortable to wear, and it's healthy, and there are zippers on the pockets, and you can put your keys, IDs, and wallets in there, and you won't lose it. And taxi drivers, they find a lot of cell phones because many people, they don't have zippers on their pockets. On average, a taxi driver can find a phone every day. If you don't want to lose your phone, then wear this jacket when you work Energy Bagua, and you will receive protection from the heavenly beings too. And so this clothing, this jacket is for Mr. Liu. There's another gift I want to give for Dr. Xu, the Energy Bagua Point leader. I didn't design this. This is a waist bag, and I think it's suitable for all Energy Bagua Point leaders. It's very sturdy, And
上义呢给演示哈。
Shang-Yi, can you show people how to wear it?
为啥给店长戴呢？
Why is it
你带给
for
大家
Energy
在做
Bagua
服
point
务
leaders? Because
你看
you
哈
are
你这个前后是自己可以
providing
转动的
service to
平时走
everyone.
八卦
You
呢
can
这个
turn
装
it
东
to
西
the
的部分
front
移
to
到
the
后头
back.
哈
When you're
那么如
working
果要
Energy
拿东西
Bagua,
的
you
时候，你
can
也可以把它转到
put
前
it
头
to
来
the back.
你转到
But
前头
when
来
you
看
need
它
to
装了
take
多少东
something,
西啊
you can
红色的
put
是一
it to
个
the front.
无线的音
You
响
can bring so many
小喇叭
things.
这
The
个
red
喇叭
one
哈
is a
够
portable
围着一棵
speaker.
树的够60
And
个人100个人来听的
60
音
or
是巨大
100
的
people can hear it.
啊
It
都不
has
用
a
连
very
连着
loud
电线啊
sound
无线的
and it's
你看
wireless.
它的右手边那个
And
呢
on the right
是一
hand
个手
side,
机
there is a
啊
cell
手
phone.
机手机兜
There's a
手机
cell
兜
phone
再挨
pocket.
着手机兜是
And
什么兜
beside
来
it
可以
is
装什么
you can
可以
put
装眼镜
uh,
眼镜盒
glasses
啊太阳镜啊
sunglasses.
再接下来呢
And next,
你看那个兜高的
There's
装一
a-
瓶矿泉水
you can put a
一个
bottle
水
of
瓶子
water.
还可以装手电
There's
因为到
flashlight.
冬天哈
There's
天黑
pen.
天亮的都
When
晚
it's
哈
dark,
所以
when
出
it's
于黑天照
winter,
走八卦
daylight
你
is
走
very
路
short,
看不清的
and
时候装手
so
电手
you
电之类的
might
能
need a
放在外
flashlight.
头哈那中间里头
And
啊
in the
装
middle,
钱包装
you
钱
can
装身份
put
证
your
装毛巾
wallet, your
啊
ID,
能装
your
很多的东西
towel in
你
there.
看而且
You
都
can
是
put a lot of
非
things
常硬的
inside.
防雨防
And
哦，
it's
它
very
这个佩戴啊
it's
几乎达
waterproof
到了警察
canvas.
装备的那个袋子
And so you
是这
can
样的
put a lot
啊
of
这
things
个
in there.
效果特别好
And it's very sturdy.
嗯而且绑在腰上
And
的
also
这
you
个
can tie it
这
to
个带
your
子特别
waist.
宽特别牢
And
固
it's a
它
wide
这些扣子
strap.
都是非常有耐力
The
的
uh,
有抗
hooks
拉力
are
的
very
对它不容易开裂的
secure
这种袋子和扣
and
子
they don't
啊
break
非常宽
easily.
几乎来
The
说
strap is
不会
very
坏
wide, and
几乎
so
不会坏
it's
就达到这样的一种牢固的效
it's
果
made properly, so
所
it
以
won't break
我见
easily.
这个以
And
后
so
就
this
是
one,
几乎我们的八卦点长之类的
so every
就是
Energy
最好每
Bagua
人佩戴
point
一个
leader,
来方便给大
everyone
家
should
服务
have
哈
one of
所以我
these
这个
so
这
that
个
you can serve
点
people
长
more
戴的这个
easily.
这个八卦这个叫什么名
So
字啊
what is this called? A
八
waist
卦超级腰
bag.
包啊
So this
或者叫点儿长腰包啊哎
multi-function
这个呢
um,
送给
waist
目
bag. I will
八
give
卦
this
点
to
的这个实习生
Dr.
好吧
Xu
我们的
from
时
the
间长
Mokdong
感
Energy
谢师
Bagua
傅
point.
哎呀，好实用啊。
Thank you, Master. It's very
这不是
useful.
我们做的哈
We
我们
didn't
在
make
网上
this.
找了
We
很多很多之后
uh,
做这么一个组合
we
曾经我们想
found
在台湾去做
this
就做
online.
不
We
不
wanted
达
to
不到我们的要求
to
而且更
design
贵
one in Taiwan,
哎
but
所以
it
的话我
doesn't
们就
fit
找
our
到了一
need
个
and it's
做的
more
这个还比较
expensive.
好的
And so we
价
found
钱
a
还非
ready-made
常的实惠
product that
哎质量
uh,
真是
that
太
has
好
very good
所
quality
以就
and a
做
good
一个
price
奖品
too.
啊
And so we
嗯
use this
哎
as a
师傅
gift.
这么好的介绍，那我们很多点长也知道，哎呀，
Many
如果想
Energy
请
Bagua
的话
point
也有机会来
leader,
请这样的
if
点长
you
腰包
need it,
对
you can
对
contact
对
us.
好的，
很方便的
嗯，
因为你这些
And
工
it's
具啊
very
随时就能拿
convenient
得出来
because you
有的
can
包括
take
创
out
可
all
贴啊
your tools right
至少
away.
有一
For
瓶矿
example,
泉水啊
Band-Aid,
不是给自己准备的
water
是给
bottle.
任何一个人
This
非常需要喝水的时
Bottle
候
of
你
water
随时
is
就拿
for
得出来
people
要这
who
样的
need
哈
to drink water.
师傅，那这个腰包很
It's
快
not
会
for
在
yourself.
慈悲音上架。
And this
共
product
没几
will
个
also be available
一
on
共没几个 因
sibein.com.
为我是一个实验啊
好的
一。共
There's
几个
very
啊
few of these because this
师
is
傅，那
just
今
a
天
try.
在现场呢，后面也是用金色的哈达包起来的，
嗯
这些呢就是之前师傅
Master,
答应过
underneath these
给我们
golden
幸福
hadas
协会
are
选出108位
are the
特别
gifts
需要的
that
网友
Master
送
said
他
that
们的一些
you
神
will
秘
give
故事
to
是的
the
因为神秘所以
108
我们
people
不给大家
who
看
对
但是
uh,
呢你能就获得这
who
个奖的
wrote
人
to
呢就
me
能得到
and
这个奖邮寄给你的
and have a
对
need.
就是
And
消
because
灾
it's
延
a
寿又增加
special gift, so
对
we won't show it to
感恩师
everyone,
傅
but we will mail these out to the
对这些礼
108
物其实
um,
在我这个常常练功的屋子里头
winners.
放了很久
And
了
these
对
gifts
其实
have
希望
been
大家
uh,
能够
placed
得到佛
in
光的护佑与
the
加持
room where I meditate for a very long time and hope everyone
我们
will
往往给大
receive
家说到
blessing
说到就要做
from
到
Buddha's
这
light.
这是必须
When
的
we say
这是我们
something,
做人的
we
基本的标
will do it. And this is the basics of being a good person. And I want to thank the White Jade Body Meditation Center and everyone there. And I want to thank everyone at the Mokdong Energy Bagua point. Thank you for your cooperation that you have worked for so many days, for such a long time, and had so many
good benefits. I believe that Mokdong Energy Bagua Point have much more better benefits. Some people have even worked for over 7 or 8 years in South Korea, and I hope that I can hear more good sharings from South Korea. Master, thank you for teaching us Energy Bagua. Again, I didn't think that Energy Bagua will help people so much. We're grateful to Grandmaster Ren. All right. Today's live stream has already been 2 hours and a half. Thank you for listening. Our next live stream will be in North America, Vancouver time. It's Friday, May 27th at 6 p.m. And in Asia Taipei time, it's Saturday, May 28th at 9 a.m. We haven't we don't know what content we'll be talking about, but we'll talk about things that are useful, practical, and interesting to everyone. And I trust that every episode will be more interesting than the last. And in the next 3 sessions, I will tell you what the third sign of coronary heart illness is. And it's easy to learn. I hope that you have a chance to hear it. If you have not, click like. Remember to like, comment, and share. And also yesterday, Juezhen shared that there are many new platforms, Apple Podcasts, and elder seniors, you can ask young people at your home to help you. And once you get used to it, it's very convenient. And even when you lock your phone screen, you can listen to everything. You can listen to all the content. If you are using YouTube, you have to watch the video, and it's not very convenient. And you can also download these audios to your phone. And what else? There is Spotify. Spotify is also easy to use. I've started to use Spotify today too. I listened to 2 hours. And I also rated 5 stars for myself. Juezhen says, I want to remind everyone, if you are using Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you are listening to Earth Star Bodhisattva, remember to rate us a 5-star. Master says, at the beginning, I searched with simplified Chinese, and when I searched it, our result didn't show up, and I had to change to traditional Chinese input. And on Apple Podcasts, you can search either by simplified or traditional Chinese, but on Spotify, you have to search with traditional Chinese characters. Otherwise, you wouldn't find my show. And so the one with Master's image is ours, is our podcast. And so I tried it already, and I listened to for 2 hours. If you have some age, find some young people to help you. It's very easy for them. And after 2 times, you would have learned it, and it's very convenient. When we're doing house chores, when we're driving, we can listen to it, and it wouldn't. And also, when you're at home, when you're in the office, you can also play the Earth Star Sutra. Although you are not reciting along, but it also brings auspiciousness and Buddha's light. All right, I want to wish everyone good health and longevity. May you be happy every day. May all your wishes come true, and may you be auspicious. Let's meet again at our next live stream.
生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有恐惧。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，了解生命的真理，修行的理义。因为有了你，日子犹如彩虹般美丽。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。我快乐了，我美丽了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与您相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，